All right, welcome everyone to Boise Entrepreneurship Week and the panel launching a clean tech business from Idaho, Opportunity and Risk. My name is Michael Baskin. I'm the Innovation Advisor for the Center for Advanced Energy Studies, the consortium known as CASE, which includes the three Idaho public research universities, Boise State University, University of Idaho, Idaho State University, and Idaho National Lab, so Idaho's energy consortium. And I'm joined today by four panelists with diverse businesses and perspectives. I'd like to welcome Mattie Mead from Hempitecture, based out of Sun Valley and Twin Falls, as I understand it. Welcome, Mattie.
Thanks. It's great to be here, Boise Entrepreneurship Week, and really nice to sit here on this panel with such incredible clean tech entrepreneurs from Idaho.
Awesome. Thank you. And then I'd like to welcome Amber Bieg, from the head of Warm Springs Consulting. Welcome, Amber.
Everybody. Thank you, Michael.
And I'd like to welcome James Wagoner from Jewel Case. Welcome, James.
Hi, great to meet everyone. Excited to be here.
And welcome Leif Elgethun from Retroluxe.
Thanks, Michael. Also excited to be here.
All right, and I'd like to invite everyone to kind of give a brief intro of what their company does and what they do with their company. And we'll kind of go in the same order. So Mattie, maybe you start us off, then Amber, then James, then Leif. Mattie, tell us a little bit about Hempitecture, which I know has been in the news, and look forward to hearing a little bit about the Hempitecture initiatives.
Yeah, thanks so much, Michael. So I'm the founder and CEO of Hempitecture, and at Hempitecture, we specialize in what we believe is the most sustainable insulation product on the planet. We're actually bringing manufacturing here to the Magic Valley, Twin Falls area, Jerome County to be specific, and our flagship facility that we are building out currently will be ready in Q2 of 2022 and will be capable of producing a number of products, but primarily hemp wool insulation, which one of the benefits is it's carbon negative. So that's a good thing. So it helps you save energy and helps our planet as well. I'm going to pass this off to Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber Beek. I'm with Warm Springs Consulting, and we are a sustainability consulting firm. We work with governments and businesses on building roadmaps to sustainability.
Hi, everyone. James Wagoner, founder and CEO of Jewel Case. Jewel Case designs and manufactures battery systems to solve for all of your temporary, emergency, portable backup power needs. So one product platform that stacks like Lego blocks so that it can ideally size for each one of these power applications. And replacing gasoline generators, also providing that critical backup power. And we manufacture in Garden City, Idaho.
So Leif Elgethun with Retroluxe, and we build a software platform that makes it really easy for contractors and project developers to develop, design, sell, and install energy efficiency solutions in our existing commercial buildings. There's over 7 billion square feet of commercial space in America, real estate, and it's our vision and our mission to make those spaces as smart and energy efficient as possible.
Awesome. So if I understand this correctly, we've got the head of a hemp insulation for energy efficiency for building insulation company that's manufacturing in Twin Falls with Hempitecture. We've got a policy and advisory and consulting firm out of Warm Springs Consulting that works with governments big and small to help lay their future pathways on where they're going, if I got most of that. And then we've got a kind of a unique Lego plug and play battery company that's, as I understand, replacing generators with silent renewable power at festivals and other unique opportunities. And then we've got a software business that helps companies who are going to scale energy efficiency businesses get their projects done. So I think that's, at least I've got most of that right, I hope. 4 different businesses, 4 different initiatives, 4 different founders. So really looking at this from the founder perspective, what got you interested in launching your business? It would say, and not all these are renewable energy businesses, but they're in the renewable energy, clean tech, energy efficiency realm. So kind of what first got you interested in the field, and what made you launch what you're doing today? And open to anyone who wants to start.
I'll jump in there. First off, Michael, what a great job assembling this panel. This is awesome. Such great people to be on here with. James, I need your batteries yesterday. for camping and all the things on the road and never having a place to plug some stuff in. So we're going to connect after this call. I'll just briefly touch on my story of starting in clean tech. And for me personally, it was when I was an architecture student studying architecture and environmental science. And I really didn't have a concept of clean tech or really understand what clean tech was at the time, but just saw a need for more sustainable materials in the built environment. So for me, I've been working on hempitecture since 2012. It's been reincarnated. First you have to die before you're reincarnated. So the business died, is reincarnated and pivots and lots of different ways of changing and growing to get to where we are today, which is building a manufacturing facility in Southern Idaho. But really for me, it stemmed with just a need and a desire to try and make the world a more sustainable place and do things different and better and look at other areas of the world and see how they're solving sustainability challenges and understanding where the United States falls short on those sustainability challenges. Oftentimes, I think we can look to different countries for great inspiration. Not that we're entirely behind here, but there are lessons to be learned. So for me, that was how I started hempitecture and moved in the clean tech direction.
Awesome. So coming out of architectural school, and I want to note for this panel for both entrepreneurs and everyone out there, students, you name it, is that it's not always straight path to success. So a little bit of humble pie and some challenges along the way. But let's say Amber or James or Leif, who wants to go next on how you got interested?
We can stay in order, and I'll jump in. And so I started out also in college, really looking at studying environmental science. And I realized the biggest leverage points in the system were economics. So I, in my mid-20s, was working on trying to communicate the value of trees, the standing value of trees and the ecosystem benefit of trees. So I started building a software platform that translated the value of trees into dollar terms, and then built that as a tool for cities, which launched me into consulting, because then I started working with cities and communities on basically turning the environmental benefits of something, of an asset or whatever it was, into a dollar term, and realized that as the world speaks the language of economics, all we have to do is translate things that have inherent value into economic value and find markets for those. So I got early into the carbon markets and was developing a platform before clean tech was really a term that was well known. And then after that, got into consulting. And so since the mid 2000s, I've been in consulting, working with governments and companies. And right now, a lot of my work is with big companies, helping them to understand the value of renewable energy systems. So for some of my larger clients, we're looking at helping them save up to $100 million on transitioning to renewable energy systems and reducing fuel electrification, a bunch of different aspects. So our team of the engineering team that we have has been working diligently to help solve some of these problems. And then we turn it into business models, and it makes sense financially as well as from an environmental standpoint.
And I'll chime in here. I think now in 2021, it goes without saying that a younger generation is going to have a reason of why they want to work, and understanding having a purpose and something that can be a positive impact. But maybe when I started my career, that wasn't the case. But I've always intuitively, as I started a career as a mechanical engineer with a for-profit corporation, having a concept of how I could, do more than just, maximize profits, and the sustainability, environmental impact has always just been a way that you could do that. And, dovetailing what Amber's saying, it's, it can be profitable, and you can save money by burning less fossil fuels, and that's great. And then you make an impact, and slowly going down that journey. And I think, it's also encountering what comes your way. And then so, I stumbled into batteries in 2007 with my co-founder, and realizing the potential, and really, that's the key to renewables, because renewables are not going to match your demand, the production. And then so you're going to need batteries, and it's, it's a fantastic product. It's a fantastic thing to be working on, and we've been working on it for a long time. I love to see the passion that's going on now, where there's society as a whole sees the need for these solutions, and there's a groundswell momentum that we're all seeing here. So I'll pass that over to Leif.
Yeah, so the first time I was even aware of sustainability, clean tech, these different terms, was in college as well. I was fortunate enough to have a cousin who was working on climate tech in Norway at that point in time, and that was in 2002. And as a scientist, he shared with me some of the data, and it was very compelling at that time that we were having an impact on Earth, and it was negative. And that really opened my eyes and got me focused on sustainability writ large. And ultimately, I learned that I had one of the most important entrepreneurial characteristics, which is I'm super curious and I really like to learn. And so I took that learning and that curiosity, and I really started to think about what the problem meant, what the scale of the problem was. And then I realized I had another entrepreneurial trait, which was that I like to solve problems. And so once I realized there was a problem, I understood how to think about it. I really started to think about what could I do to help solve that problem. And so I started my first company in 2009 to help business owners understand what they could do to reduce their energy spend and their associated carbon emissions. And one thing led to the next, and we have a software company now that is working to accelerate the speed at which other companies that do that same work can effectively reach business owners and help them understand how they can reduce their energy spend and their associated carbon emissions. So it really comes from that curiosity and that willingness to learn, and then ultimately identifying problems that you can feel passionate about solving. And I feel really fortunate to have got into the game of sustainability and clean tech and climate tech, quite a while ago. And I'm even more excited to see all the passion and growing interest around this sector today, because I think it's just amazing to think about all these new brains coming out of college, out of high school, out of whatever point in life you might be, and seeing them get engaged in this subject and find new problems or new solutions to help advance the industry.
Awesome. So I'm just going to, as the moderator, I'm going to jump in very briefly to add one other complementary areas. I got interested as an Army officer in Afghanistan. We had a lot of resupply that I was like, why do we need to resupply so much stuff? And then I was in Afghanistan a year and then 15 months in Iraq, and these resupply units were getting attacked. And so it became about how could we reduce our resupply requirements, which led me to energy efficiency and reducing our consumption practices. So one thing led to another, but I just realized my experience of how I got interested is a bit different, but complementary, because I then worked in clean tech in the Department of Energy and now work for K's as the innovation advisor. So everybody kind of comes in from some sort of catalyst event or some interest that grows. And I'm also kind of hearing, Leif, James, Amber, Mattie, everybody kind of continued on here as kind of a theme that it wasn't just the first stop or things were just rolled out on a red carpet, but kind of iterating and kind of exploring has led you to where you're at. And you'll probably continue to iterate and explore for where you go next. So kind of shifting here, just explore a little bit, you lead companies or you lead organizations here is, how did you develop your value proposition, and really how did you also balance what your product is with finding customers? So really looking at that from the entrepreneurial perspective of, we're making this, I got to get money to develop this, and I'm going to employ people, but then I need to sell this. And how do you make that special sauce work?
Yeah, so for me and over at Hemptecture, kind of going back to what I had said earlier, there's been so many reincarnations of our business and pivots. And as an entrepreneur, that is one thing that I try and tell every entrepreneur is that, you need to be persistent, you need to have a vision. But if that vision is not panning out, don't be afraid to adjust your sails and catch a different wind. Because sometimes, you're getting signals that are directing you that way. And if you're so determined in going that other direction, it might not work out. So early on at Hemptecture, we had a very unique building system that required a lot of different people and processes in delivering a building. And we learned early on that if you are really reorienting the order of operations in a building project, it's very difficult to find customers and clients that are super committed to do that. And so early on, we were really focused on this one area and realizing that, we had customers go, to the 8th inning and then drop out because they couldn't get a building permit, or an architect that would design a building and then it wouldn't be accepted by the building inspector. All of these things really indicated that we needed to go in a different direction. And so about 2 years ago, we went in a different direction, which is a one-to-one product substitution. And the value proposition of that product substitution is, hey, what's in your walls now is bad. It's bad for you. It's bad for the planet. And why not switch to something that is carbon negative, good for the planet, healthy for you and your family? And hey, we spend over 90% of our lives indoors. So why not turn our homes and the places we spend 90% of our lives into a sanctuary, a place that nurtures our health and is responsible for the environment? Finding customers, Michael, that's a whole other challenge and a story unto itself when you're an entrepreneur. But I think when you have a product that is right and a product that speaks to people and there's a mission behind it and a belief system behind it, people are gravitated towards it. You can market a bad product all you want, yet you might not end up with customers at the end of the day. So I think so long as you have a passion fit, you have a product that's serving a need, finding customers, that's going to happen organically. And once you start to see that organic traction and people coming into your world and your network, that's when you can really start to accelerate on gaining more customers and getting more traction. And I'm sure with the other panelists on this group, there's lots of different perspectives and ways because we come from different sectors. We have other tangible hard goods, we have consulting, we have software, and I think our customer segments are different. So I'm excited to hear what everyone else has to say.
I'll jump in. I think that it really, when it comes down to it, and going back to what Leif was talking about, those key ingredients of being an entrepreneur is curiosity and also problem solving. And I think as an entrepreneur, one of the unique things we do is we identify problems. And usually when I have a chief complaint about something, there's usually a problem to solve. And if I find it a problem and want to solve it, usually there's somebody else who also has the same problem. So when I started a software company in the mid-2000s, I was actually trying to find a solution to the really bad tools that existed at that point in time to do the job that I was trying to do for my day job. And so I ended up trying to build the software to solve my problem. And it turned out that there were, a number of other people, thousands of other people trying to solve the same problem and had the same problem. And so that was easy because I just solved the problem. And then I went and interviewed all those other people and said, oh, do you have the same problem? What are the nuances to your problem? And how can I solve it with this platform that I'm building? The sustainability consulting is actually bespoke problem solving. So what I do is I go into a company says, we have this problem and we don't really know how to identify it necessarily. And then we come in and we say, here's what we think your problem is. And so what I've gotten good at is pinpointing where the problem is and solving it. And I think that that's a unique thing that entrepreneurs do. And that's why I'm in consulting, is because I get to be an entrepreneur over and over and over again with each project. And really that problem solving is key.
Yeah. And I like, so having known Amber now for a while and the support that, she's given and, Leif, and it's been tremendous to have a wonderful, robust Idaho clean tech community. And so, as the years I've seen Amber and Warm Springs kind of evolve, and I commend her in terms of, having understanding that there's a clean tech needs out there, and this, what Warm Springs is doing now is really tremendous. But, to be that visionary, right? So adding another layer of, here's the vision that you need to build. You need to, be curious, you need to problem solve, but to be an entrepreneur and to create something new, and then to create this in this exciting clean tech space, to have that vision and to build on that. And then, the journey will change, of course, and the art of changing with that or maintaining your vision, that's challenging. So, kind of what Mattie's saying there, you got to be tied in with your customers, and there's a balance between, really dialoguing and focus on what they're saying, but then anticipating what they actually need, what Amber's saying, right? And I think that the Jewel Case story was one where when we started in 2015, the need for a portable battery system would be, that's kind of cute to have something for my tailgate, right? That's all I can really imagine. And now in 2021, if you live in Louisiana or Texas or California, you want to go to events or music festivals, it's very apparent that what we're building is needed. But it's a gamble as well, and that's part of the fun. And it could be something where you're going on this adventure. You don't know what that next turn is going to look like, but you think you want to make something, you want to build something. Take that strength or that passion, and then go forth and try it, and make sure you're in tune with your customers. But then also, I think that you need to feel strongly about what you're trying to build. If you are just trying to maximize something, or how am I going to make the best decision here, you might not be able to persevere through the struggles of what that actually looks like. A great kind of pivot for us was we were really focused on events, trade shows and music festivals, and then COVID hit, and suddenly we have no customers, right? So how do you sell, and how do you continue to evolve your company? And it's been great to have events come back for sure, but then as a result, Jewel Case is a much better company, coming out of this, because now there are, other technologies we've developed and other customers that we've developed as well. And now, it's not just one story. There's a lot of different other needs in there as well.
To be fairly additive to the great comments that everybody has shared already, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Once you find a problem you want to solve that you're passionate about, figure out what that solution looks like, or what you think that solution will do for solving that problem. And then go talk to people. Like, go find who you think your customer is going to be and talk to as many of them as you can, and see if they actually have the problem, how important is that problem to them, and whether or not they'd be willing to pay for it, a solution to that problem. So I always just recommend that earlier and faster you can get out in front of potential customers to share what you're thinking about what you're going to do for them and get their feedback, the faster you're going to have a pathway to success. So, don't be scared. I mean, I'm an engineer, and it was scary going out and talking to those early customers. And I was worried they're going to think my ideas sucked. And if you're an entrepreneur, you got to get over that stuff quickly. And the best way to do it is to go out there and share your story with folks and get their feedback. And you'll be amazed at the positive response you get and the helpfulness that people will give you, both in telling you parts of your idea that might not be so good, but also the parts that are really resonating and things that you could do to improve it. So take advantage of that. It's a free resource that you can get from your ultimate customer base. You'll get some really awesome early adopters that want to jump in and help you build it or help you test it. And ultimately, it'll make sure that before you spend money building something real, you've already gotten out there and realized and proven to yourself that the problem is persistent, and that your solution is something that would work for people and they would want to pay for it.
A little bit of customer discovery and customer engagement. I'm hearing from Leif about, hey, get out there and.
And I also want to throw in the clean tech space and the social entrepreneur space, where your revenue stream is not necessarily who you're solving the problem for. And that's something that, we often confuse. Our revenue stream has to be the person, or essentially the customer. And in the social entrepreneur space, you can actually have a different revenue stream than the problem you're solving, the person you're solving the problem for. And that always gets really interesting, right? So this is where social entrepreneurship, like a friend of mine built these cell phone charging stations, independent charging stations in Tanzania. And really what she was solving was poverty and entrepreneurship. But really the solution was these charging stations where people would pay money into them. So that's an example. You don't have to have your revenue stream come from the person you're solving the problem for.
Great point. And Mattie, I saw this is 2021, so no remote panel would be complete without some sort of interruption. So it sounded like Hempitecture had some office stuff going in. So just to transition here, so all of you have launched something. I want to kind of highlight a little bit and get some fast insights about partners. Like, no one can do this alone. So maybe talk about some of the partnerships that have helped you, or the relationships and either mentors or whatever you feel has really helped launch your particular business and helped take it to where it is today. So welcome insights and thoughts on how partners in the ecosystem have helped you.
Michael, as an entrepreneur and someone who's launching a company and growing a company here in Idaho, it's been incredible to experience the resources that we are afforded here in Idaho. And so recently we were awarded a Department of Commerce grant for the iGEM program, which allows us to work with the University of Idaho. This is such an incredible opportunity, not just for hempitecture, but also for the students that are at the University of Idaho who get to research and develop the future of our building materials here today. So we're really, really thankful for this opportunity, which again was completely afforded by the Department of Commerce. And I get to go up to Moscow, work with the students, get to go into the laboratory. It's really an incredible thing. And then I think outside of, looking to state level resources, look to local resources. Who in your community can help you? Who is a mentor to you? Who can you partner with to get further faster? Because as an entrepreneur, what you'll ultimately learn is that delegation is really important. And finding out how to work with other people is going to be really important for you to ultimately experience success and grow your business.
I want to chime in and also add and do a plug for the Cleantech Alliance and for Trailhead and for all the organizations that are key right now. And I want to say, Boise's Entrepreneurship Week is another one. These are the venues in which we meet each other. I met James through Entrepreneurship Week. I met Leif through some mutual friends, and I've known these guys for many years now. And these guys have been invaluable to my business, and just the exchange of ideas and the camaraderie and the friendship and the innovation and the thinking. And all of us are also part of the Cleantech Alliance. So the Cleantech Alliance is an organization that we recently formed a chapter of the Cleantech Alliance in Idaho, and Michael's part of it as well. So we're all part of the Cleantech club here in Idaho. And if anybody wants to join, please follow up. Mattie, we would love to have you join the Cleantech Alliance because you'd be a perfect fit for it. And it's been really fun and really exciting to see that conversation grow and emerge in Idaho. And it's also just been a delight and super fun to watch and learn from Leif. Leif has been an incredible mentor and advisor. And, the mentors don't always have to be people who are older than you. So I really just appreciate the friendships from both James and Alex and from Leif, and we support each other a lot. And actually, I feel like I get a lot more support from these guys than I give. So I just want to acknowledge them and thank them.
Yeah, thank you, Amber. Exactly, right back at you. Everything you said, I just want to repeat and echo. And reach out. Mattie and Tommy at Hempitecture, I've had a great call with Tommy already, and I think anyone on this call, I've learned from fellow entrepreneurs, and I would want to extend that invite. If anyone, I'd love to help bring people up, because it was Leif back in 2018 that as someone that had just quit a corporate job and trying to figure this out again, that Leif helped me out there as well. So, you got to pass that forward.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So just a couple of things that weren't mentioned that are really great resources. There's the Cascadia Cleantech Accelerator. Mattie's gone through that. I've gone through that. A great way to level up your game fast. Obviously, Trailhead is a great place to meet people. Cleantech Alliance, if you're into clean tech, is a place to go and convene. Trailhead's a great place to go for entrepreneurial stuff. So keep on that. Boise Entrepreneurship Week, huge resource. And I think the biggest thing that you just heard from everybody is that Idaho is welcoming. So take advantage of the fact that you can get in the door of anybody for a conversation. And so if you have a need and you want to learn more about something you heard from any of us, reach out. And I guarantee you'll get a response and you'll get a meeting. And that goes all the way from the folks on this panel up to people like the CEO of Cradlepoint that just exited for $1 billion. You could probably get a meeting with him, the governor. And so Idaho's just got a really great open door policy, which means you can get access to just phenomenal people that can help you with thinking about your business, thinking about your market, and ultimately working towards putting something on the streets. So take advantage of that. Super blessed to have relationships with the other people on this panel, all doing great work in Idaho. I think we all feed off each other and really try to make sure that this is a sector of the economy that can really help grow both people personally and professionally. So tons of opportunities, but just remember, all it takes is asking for help, and there will be help to be found.
Yes, you got to ask, and the welcoming aspect of Idaho business and public leaders and always an opportunity to connect with others. So we've got just a little over a minute left, and I just wanted to go before I say thank you to everyone, is who's hiring here. I know there's some opportunities, and I know there's willing to connect, but I'm curious if, the Hempitecture manufacturing facilities, if you're looking for folks, Jewel Case is back up and at it after COVID. So if you're hiring, or if you think you'll be hiring in the future, what you look for in a candidate, very briefly though, maybe 10 seconds each.
Hey, yeah, first off, thanks again, everyone, for sitting in on this panel. This has been awesome. Hempitecture is hiring, and we're looking forward to bringing jobs to the Magic Valley region with our manufacturing facility opening up in Q2. So if you have manufacturing experience, feel free to send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
We just hired a few people, and we will probably be hiring again in the spring. We just hired a couple interns. We also will be looking for people who love to work with Excel and want to do greenhouse gas accounting work. So that's an area that we will likely be hiring again for in the spring.
In Jewel Case is always hiring. We're hiring right now, and really looking for people that can think on their feet, that can really try to create something that's new and be thoughtful about how you can solve these power needs with something that's not a dirty, smelly generator.
Yes, and Retroluxe is always hiring as well. careers@retroluxe.com. The 3 areas we're most interested in right now are software development. So if you got experience in UI, UX, back-end, front-end, full stack, please let us know, as well as sales and marketing and customer support. So we really love having people in Boise, but we do support remote positions as well. So don't let your location hold you back. Send us in your resume. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, so opportunities in manufacturing, it sounds like almost like accounting and statistics, batteries, software, UI, UX. So Cleantech obviously pulling from a lot of different areas to make successful companies deliver successful products. I want to thank on behalf of Boise Entrepreneurship Week, Trailhead, Center for Advanced Energy Studies, all of the energy transition, Cleantech community in Idaho. Thank you all. Mattie, Mead, Hempitecture, Amber Beek, Warm Springs Consulting, James Wagner, Jewel Case, Leif, Elgethun, Retroluxe. Thank you all for your insights, and we look forward to the next happy hour. There's usually a happy hour in Boise, sometimes one monthly, and
let me know if anybody wants to be on that list. So we maintain the list for the happy hour invites, but it's every second Wednesday. And the location usually is at Payette when it's warm weather, but the next one will be in November. We're skipping October due to COVID spikes. So we will see everybody in November, and please join us. And I think we're going to be selecting a speaker for that event.
Okay, you got to get on the list, but you can get on the list. So just like Cleantech, you can get in. So thank you all, the panelists. Keep doing great things. Let's keep communicating, and look forward to seeing you again.